Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul with me now. Senator, good day to you, and a lot to get through per usual. What do you think this does now on the investigative front? Sean Spicer last night suggested both sides have now escalated this legal battle. What do you think?
Well, the first question we ought to ask is, what does this have to do with Russia? I thought the special prosecutor was investigating Russian collusion. Going after someone's personal attorney is a great overstep, I think, in the authority of the prosecutor. And this is why I have opposed really having special prosecutors for almost anything, because I think they abuse their authority. So I think Mueller has abused his authority. Now they say, well, he asked somebody else, another U.S. attorney, to do it. Yes, but this is coming at the behest of Mueller. So I think this investigation no longer has much to do with Russia. But I would warn people around America who say, that don't like the president, this is just fine because it's against President Trump. This is an enormous power that can be used against anybody. You remember what Chuck Schumer said a couple of months ago? He says, if you cross the intelligence agencies, they can screw you 6 ways to Sunday. This is about enormous power, prosecutorial power, but also power in the intelligence communities. We have to rein this in, or every American citizen is exposed to this kind of abuse of power.
How would you rein it in?
We shouldn't have these special prosecutors.
You have a major political crisis on your hands. Go ahead.
It's hard now. You're right. It's actually hard politically to fire Mueller. But the thing is, we never should have had Mueller in the first place, because we've given too much power to a prosecutor who's no longer looking at Russia. He's looking at some kind of personal dealings with the president's lawyer. And imagine, once they get this, they've got all of the information that the president has ever discussed with the attorney, and they say, we're not going to use the stuff that's attorney-client privilege, but they're going to read it. And you think once they've read it, it might give them ideas of other places to look? There's this concept called parallel construction. They don't actually use the information they read, but they now have that information and can use it to go snooping in other areas. So really, this is a wide open, the president's right, it's a witch hunt, but it's a wide open thing. And it's a mistake to ever have these special prosecutors. That's why I've opposed it, even for Andy McCabe and for Peter Strzok and all these other people who abuse their office. Let's prosecute them in a normal fashion. Let's don't appoint a prosecutor that can go everywhere.
How'd you feel about Ken Starr in the 90s?
I may or may not have been as consistent back then, to tell you the truth, but I've come to believe that now these special prosecutors have too much power. And so, yes, I think I have learned over time that we shouldn't have these special prosecutors.
You're starting to sound like Alan Dershowitz.